ULTRAKILL is a hard game. Despite the challenge, the P rank shows that even in the chaos of this game, perfection can be achieved. In my last video, I beat every ULTRAKILL level on the hardest difficulty, and I struggled until I completed that challenge. But now, I want perfection. I want to throw myself back in, put myself through the ringer, and to see if I can P rank every level in ULTRAKILL. There are currently 29 levels in ULTRAKILL, from 0-1 all the way to 7-4. In my casual playthrough, I only ever P ranked one level out of the 29. For a P rank to be given for any level, it needs to be completely perfect, which includes a fast clear time, high kill count, insane style points, and it all needs to be deathless, which we will dive more into later. On top of all of that, P ranking everything also unlocks two extremely hard levels, and these are the most difficult, punishing, and unforgiving levels I've ever played in a video game. And if doing all that isn't worth a subscriber, then I don't know what is. But before we get into that, we need to start from the beginning. We go into the fire, starting on 0-1, absolutely obliterating everything in sight, which is necessary to P rank a level. We rush through the level and meet the fan favorite mini-boss, Maurice, as I introduce him to one of my many tricks I learned during this challenge, and one-shot him. 0-2, the meat grinder, gave me a struggle, not because it was a hard level, but because I couldn't find the last enemy to give me the P rank that I needed. I ended up getting so lost, I found myself somewhere I wasn't supposed to be. Oh, no, I'm not doing that, that's not scary. No, I'm not doing this! Nope. I didn't ask for a scary game. I'm not doing a scary game. I went back, changed my pants, found the secret enemy, and P ranked the level. I then doubled down as I head to 0-3, as I force feed shotgun pellets to all of my enemies by punching them straight into their mouth. We fight the local otaku, the swords machine, as he cosplays as Kirito from SAO. He loved my gun, so I gave him a chance to examine my full arsenal up close, to finish the level with another perfect P rank. The challenge just feels like it gets easier and easier, cause 0-4 was done in one shot. I incinerated everything with a pulse, and I had a couple close calls, but I beat it on my first try, securing another P rank. If anyone remembers my last video, fighting Cerberus almost ruined my last run, as I swore to hate this oversized gargoyle for as long as I lived. And I'm happy to report I kept my word, as I ran through 0-5 and ended both of the bosses in under 60 seconds, finishing out Prelude with all P ranks. Dropping into Limbo, level 1-1 may look peaceful, but has more crime than the average day in Los Santos. I shred through everybody as I make my way through the level, getting all S ranks to leave with another perfect score. 1-2 drops that peaceful act, as everything around me is engulfed in flames. I run through the level and open a secret door that leads to one of the most difficult bosses in the game, and my now biggest rival in all of ULTRAKILL. Where? Is that... Holy sh**, it's the cancerous rodents! What am I gonna... Okay. Was that it? How do I get... Oh! And I didn't kill that rat for nothing, even though I wanted to. It gave me access to a slab, which will help me later on. Then I finished the level and got another P rank. Level 1-3 ended up being one of the deadliest levels in this challenge, but not for me. As I fight the hideous mass, 2 secret lovers hidden in the walls, and 127 total enemies for the entire level to rack up 34,000 style points, to leave with a well-deserved P rank. We drop into 1-4, where the upcoming boss is waiting for me. But that's not the only thing waiting for me. Throughout all the levels of Limbo, I have been activating slabs just for this. The Slab Revolver, an alternate version of the revolvers that makes them much stronger. Let's take a quick pause for a second, because in my last video, I called this upcoming boss one of the hardest in the game. And I wanted to apologize, as this boss fight was so easy. It was so easy, in fact, that I think the only reason V2 keeps coming back is because he has a secret crush on me, and there's no other explanation. Whether it was from already beating this game on the hardest difficulty, or having the upgraded revolvers, the fight was the definition of a cakewalk, as V2 leaves, shitting and crying as I rejected him once again. Moving into Lust, we enter Cyberpunk's Night City. The level was fast, too fast, because I missed a good amount of enemies who were begging for mercy. I replayed the level to give them the deaths that they deserve, and to get myself a nice shiny P rank at the end of the level. On 2-2, I switched from mass murdering robot to electrician as I broke the local power grid and dealt with the angry citizen. I made it to the end of the level just to repeat it all over again. I finished the level with another P rank. 2-3 really tries to push my luck as they drown me in water and enemies. And during this challenge, it was at this point I realized I am getting better at this game at breakneck speeds, doing things I've never done before to beat these levels with a P rank, and hopefully to make them come in handy later for the harder bosses to come. 2-4 took me practically no time at all. Despite being a boss level, I learned that B-hopping is faster than this electrically charged minecart, and I could go through the level to get stopped by this huge hand. I gave it a huge high five with the bullets from my shotgun, then went to go fight the owner of this hand, the giant knockoff Galactus, and beat the level in 2 tries for a P rank. Layer 3, Gluttony, drops us in as we are 2 levels away from one of the hardest levels in the entire game. I speed through the entire level, and despite being super long and missing a little bit of enemies, I eventually get our beloved P rank with perfect scores. 3-2 reintroduces us to a boss that has made me struggle plenty of times before my last playthrough. Gabriel, the local femboy angel and the judge of hell, tasked with stopping our descent by any means necessary. I have died to him over 300 times before, but this time was different. I had the skills and knowledge to take him out in just 2 tries. With that final shot into Gabriel, and now holding 15 of the 29 P ranks in the game, we can head to P-1. Is what I thought I was going to do. Remember how I said all levels need to be perfect and deathless? At the time, I didn't know the levels had to be deathless. Wait, why is that not... Wait, why is that not P rank? Wait, do restarts count as P ranks? Oh, I didn't check. As I needed to redo 4 levels, so I did. I re-P ranked 1-3, 2-3, 2-4, and 3-2. For real this time. With that out of the way, I returned to the door with my correctly obtained P ranks to go fight one of the hardest bosses in the game, behind P-1. I went in quick and rushed to the boss room to see what was waiting for me. The Flesh Prison, which had to be heavily inspired by Jujutsu Kaisen. It shot black holes at me, blue skulls, and let's say it had decent healing. But after 10 minutes, I beat it. I did it! Oh my god, I did it! Yeah. Oh my god. Give me that. Thank you. Only for the real boss to appear. A knockoff straight out of the Beyond the Spider-Man films, Minos Prime. And already, this boss was like nothing I've ever faced before. Whoa, 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 whoa! Whoa! Why is he so fast? Teleporting everywhere, uppercutting me, creating shockwaves, and throwing orange snakes at me. For a boss with just 1 health bar, it took me dozens of attempts to beat him, as he kept beating me down, until I could return the favor. Whoa, 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 whoa. I was so happy to finally beat him, as it took me almost 100 deaths to beat P-1. And if you think P ranking this level is part of my challenge, I'm not gonna do it. You saw what I just did. I'm not gonna do it. Sue me. With Minos Prime dead on the ground, and now officially the first half of this challenge is over, I assume getting the rest of the P ranks would be way easier than what I just went through. And let me say while I'm recording this, Past Me was so wrong. Oh my god, I would go back in time and slap the sense into Past Me, because the levels only got longer, harder, and more annoying. But we'll get to that. We drop into Greed, with more enemies trying to stop my path as I try to climb towards the pyramid, and I gain the power to akimbo my weapons and completely clear house for another P rank. 4-2 was the first level in this entire challenge that made me hit the brakes a little. I'm used to P ranking every level, first try, and moving on. But this level was different. The enemies were everywhere, Hot Sand prevented me from healing, and a tanky mini-boss waited for me at the end of the level to stop me in my tracks. Those things made it extremely hard to finish a level deathless, for that P rank that I so desperately needed. And when I did finish a level, the game called me ass instead. After about 15 minutes, I was able to finally leave with my P rank, hoping that none of the levels got any harder than this. We progress deeper into Greed, as 4-3 is pitch black, as a million scurrying little basement dwellers hide in the shadows to attack me. I light the path, kill everything that gets in my way, and of course make some time for my favorite green disco party. Another level finished, another P rank obtained. 4-4, we climb up the pyramid to the boss, waiting for a rematch. But take a quick little detour to this door with a little crack to see a visible skull on the other side. I whiplash the skull and open a secret door to get our second set of upgraded weapons for the nail guns, switching the nails for saws. In the boss room, V2 was waiting for me, either for a rematch or to steal a little kiss from me. Either way, I can promise you, for whatever reason V2 is here for, this would end in a one-sided massacre. My stronger weapons and more game knowledge barely made this a challenge, as V2 splattered on the ground, heartbroken for my rejection and actually broken for me killing it. I grabbed its arm, finished the level, closing out Greed with all P ranks. As I am thrown into a classic underwater level in Wrath, all that goes through my mind is that I hate water levels, so my only goal is to get out as quickly as possible. I collect the skulls, electrocute some enemies, and clear out the level with another perfect rating. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, 5-2 worried me just a little bit because this level is pretty straightforward, but I have struggled with the boss of this level in the past. I could just pay the boss a single coin to move on without a fight, but that would stop me from getting that tender P rank, so I couldn't spare his life. When that fight started, I fought the ferryman. The fear amounted to nothing as I melted the boss so quickly. The fight ended as fast as it began as I completed the level. In the ferryman's ship, I cleared out every passenger aboard to rack up the kills and get another P rank. The boat flipped over as I backtracked and finished the level. I exit the sinking boat on the ocean floor to meet the Leviathan, a massive ocean snake wanting to end my run. But this boss goes down like the rest, as this ocean becomes his downfall and dies of electrocution. The hardest part of this boss fight wasn't the fighting, but actually getting enough style points to get our P rank and move on. Going into layer 6, dropping into Heresy, home of one of the hardest boss fights in the entire game. But we need a few more P ranks before we can attempt that. 6-1 opens the lower gates of hell as I add my own flames to burn every enemy I come across. I fought the dual bosses at the end and obtained another P rank. At the end of 6-2, I can feel the boss's rage from the very start as I fight Gabriel for round 2. This fight was hard, not because of how difficult and challenging he was, but because I couldn't get enough style points off of him. As I fought him again and again, I realized I'm not the same person who fought him before. Gabriel seemed almost predictable, and after I beat this level, I would rather fight him 100 times over instead of the upcoming boss in P-2. Before I fight the boss above all other bosses, I decided to quickly go ahead and finish layer 7 to have all of the 29 P ranks that I've been desperately working towards the entire video. We drop into layer 7, but the challenge is not over yet, because Violence contained the most rage-inducing levels to beat. These levels were long, and long levels have opportunities for lots of mistakes. 7-1 is like a maze of just skulls and blood, and I had to attempt this level so many times that eventually my footage looks like it could be mistaken for a speed run. I make it to the end, fight the Minotaur twice, and beat the level with my much needed P rank. In this entire challenge, 7-2 was hands down the most excruciatingly hard level, and it wasn't even close. Before I explain how rage-inducing this level was, for a point of reference, I recorded this entire challenge over about 10 hours of gameplay. This singular level took me 2 hours and 6 minutes. So, if you want to support what I do and not drive me crazy, drop me a little subscribe maybe. Enough shilling. This level introduced me to shield enemies, tank enemies, a new shotgun, and at the end there was an absolute cluster of the strongest people I've ever fought to make it feel next to impossible to survive. I even started crashing out at the level after countless tries. Oh my, how? How do you fight these fucking people? After hours of just pure rage, I finally beat the level with a P rank. And I also received a brand new shotgun variant, the ultra strong Jackhammer, which, despite everything I just went through, it will be necessary for my upcoming P2 fight. At this point in the challenge, I took like a week break. I hated 7-2, and when I finally came back, I was prepared for the worst entering the next level. Just to have a complete 180 as I completed the level on my very first try. I just thought it would be harder, but the only difficulty was my computer not being able to play the game for past 2 frames a second. But this was so nice because I really needed a win after that last level to get through the rest of this challenge. The boss level in layer 7, 7-4, was the last level standing between me and attempting P-2. I was quickly met with the boss, Benjamin the Earth Mover. This boss was huge, but the level was pretty straightforward. I actually completed it multiple times, but each time I didn't actually have enough style points to obtain the P rank. So I did it again and again until I was able to beat Benjamin with the 29th and final P rank of the challenge. But if you're still here, I know what you want. It's not about the P ranks anymore. You want to see me do P-2. I headed back and went to the last P rank door in the game. I had no clue what to expect, as I've been spoiled to some parts of the game, but this I was completely blind on. I walk in, not knowing what was to come or what was waiting inside. Ooh, that scared me so badly. And I quickly understand what this level had in store for me. This wasn't run to the boss room and fight the boss. This was a boss rush. Every mini-boss I've ever fought, all at the same time. It was brutal, but I knew that whatever was waiting for me at the end of this level would be exponentially more difficult than this. Room after room, boss after boss, death after death, until I dropped down into a locked room holding a giant coliseum. I dropped in to fight the flesh, Panopticon, and I thought that this level would be just like P-1, where I had to fight the real boss hiding inside this flesh thing. And before I could figure out how to even pronounce this word, the game threw a curveball at me. The boss was able to free himself from the prison. The STI King himself, Syphilis Prime. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong, but that's what it looks like. And this guy said he wanted to test my resilience before showing me the hardest boss movement I have ever witnessed. Teleporting above, in front, and behind me, slamming me on the ground, and barely giving me a chance to recover at all. This boss pummeled me endlessly, creating shockwaves and bombs out of thin air. I have never seen him before. I haven't seen a YouTube video about him before. Now I need to fight him? It was almost enough for me to say that this guy is unkillable. My only thought process was to survive, until I got him to half of his health. And then he kicked it into overdrive. The syphilis gets faster. Why did no one tell me that this behemoth of an STI gets faster? I don't understand how anyone has beaten a boss this overpowered. Time after time, not getting closer to a victory, I just had to keep throwing myself at him, hoping I got the perfect opening, and that wasn't even a guarantee I would get. But eventually, it happened. Oh my god, oh my god! Syphilis Prime was defeated, and it took me 80 minutes and 135 attempts in total. My challenge was already done at the end of 7-4, where I received all 29 standard game P ranks. But now I feel accomplished, as both P-1 and P-2 have been finished to make this challenge officially complete.